So I want to show you this new feature of Google Photos, which is really a great service. I think it allows you to store online your photo collection for free. And Google keeps adding new features, and I think this one is particularly interesting. What the new feature allows you to do is to locate or search photos using a map. And that creates some very interesting opportunities. So this is, according to Google anyway, a search feature. And so if you have the most recent version of Google Photos on a mobile device, and to my knowledge it only works with a mobile device to this point, you activate search, and you find all these different ways you can search by people, by locations, etc., by search terms. But they've added this map feature, and if you look like maybe a third of the way down here on the page, you'll see Explore Map, and I opened that. And what it brings up is what I think is called a heat map. At least that's the popular term, and the map itself has locations marked, and the quantitative measure is indicated by different colors. So here you can see the purple dots, and then dots colored in different ways. And this is just an indication of how many photos can be located in that at that point. So you see the map comes up where I happen to be at, and you'll see the relationship here in that a particular map is collected. This happens to be a photo. I'm sitting on my deck, and this is a flower picture that was taken on my deck, and you'll see there's a relationship here between the map and photos that appear at the bottom here of the screen. Now what I want to do is manipulate the map, and pinch and zoom features work. So here's a heat map coming up of the United States. You can see we've traveled a bit, and I'll take you here to a collection that I think you'll find a little more maybe interesting. And so recently, about a year ago, we were able to go to Southern Africa and spend some time there with friends. And you'll see that as I've moved the map, the collection of photos at the bottom of the screen adjusts. So I'm going to go here and show you kind of how this works. And again, now I can zoom out on the map, and the collections begin to differentiate a bit. So if I come over here, you'll see this is when we were in the bush on safari, and here you see pictures kind of associated with what we saw there. There's an interesting thing here that might be overlooked, and I think is very important, and that is the way this works is obviously it's using the GPS data stored if you're using a cell phone with GPS enabled, and again, that's an important thing I think to learn to do. And also to turn it off, because some people see this as a security feature. But I don't actually take, especially when I'm in a place like this and I may want to do something like use a good camera, and probably more importantly in this case, a fancy lens, a nice telephoto lens. And of course in my camera, I don't have GPS. So what this works out to allow is to connect to the day and the time in which all the images you collected are stored. So I'm accessing the Google Photos below by date, even though I'm using the heat map and GPS data to get there. So what this means in practical terms is it makes a lot of sense if you like to take photos with a traditional digital camera to also take some images at the same time with your cell phone. And if you store all of this stuff, all of these images in Google Photos, it will allow you to revisit the camera images by location because the camera and the cell phone images share a common date, and that's kind of what you see here. So Google Photos, a great free service, free if you use the lower quality option in storing images, although these are quite high quality. And it's the new feature it's a new search feature that is based on the GPS data stored in an image and displayed on a map.